It begins with a number $34 trillion. That's the current US government debt, more than the entire annual output of the world's largest economy. But this isn't just a number, it's the opening act in a drama that could reshape the world as we know it. Imagine this. The American empire, long the unchallenged titan of the global stage, is now teetering on the edge of decline. The warning signs are everywhere: ballooning debt, fractured alliances, and a global economic order shifting beneath our feet. Is the American century over? Or is this just another chapter in a much older story? The rise and fall of empires. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear may change the way you see the world forever. Let's pull back the curtain. For decades, the United States has borrowed and spent with abandon. Today, government debt exceeds the country's entire annual GDP, a level not seen since the aftermath of World War II. But the stakes are different now. Back then, America was rebuilding the world. Now, it's borrowing just to keep the lights on. And here's the kicker. If foreign lenders, China, Japan, global investors, decide to stop financing these deficits, the US economy could face serious trouble. Picture the British Empire in the 20th century. Once the world's banker, it drowned in debt and watched its global influence evaporate. Are we witnessing history repeat itself? Meet Sarah, a lifelong public sector worker. For years, she traded higher pay for job security, a deal as old as the American middle class. But today, that security is vanishing. Mass layoffs sweep through government offices. Fear replaces certainty. Sarah, like thousands of others, is forced into the private sector, where jobs are scarce and wages are falling. The influx of desperate job seekers drives down pay and working conditions for everyone. It's not just Sarah's story, it's a microcosm of a nation where economic insecurity is becoming the new normal. So, what's the way forward? First, we must recognize the reality. The old trade-offs no longer hold. The American labor market is fragmenting, and the safety nets of the past are fraying. To adapt, policymakers must focus on rebuilding domestic productivity and investing in the future workforce. But that requires something Washington has lacked for years: political will. For decades, we were told that prosperity at the top would trickle down to everyone else. But look around, does it feel like it's working? The truth is stark. Most new jobs aren't being created in the United States at all. They're springing up in China, Brazil, India, places where wages are lower and regulations looser. Globalization and offshoring have hollowed out American industry, leaving communities across the country struggling to adapt. Now let's talk about tariffs. Recently, the United States slapped heavy tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles, hoping to protect American jobs. But the result? Those same vehicles are now prohibitively expensive for American consumers and businesses, while competitors abroad get them at bargain prices. It's like trying to win a race by tying your own shoelaces together. Tariffs are a tax on Americans, not on foreign producers. The promise of punishing adversaries is a mirage. The pain lands squarely at home. If America wants to lead, it must compete, not retreat. That means investing in innovation, embracing global supply chains, and forging partnerships with rising powers. Protectionism may win votes, but it loses the future. Here's the bombshell. The US and its G7 allies now account for just 28% of global GDP. China and its BRICS partners, 35% and rising. Developing nations are turning away from Washington and Brussels, seeking investment and trade with Beijing, New Delhi, and Brasilia. The center of economic gravity is moving east and south, and the old order is crumbling. Consider your morning coffee. The beans come from Brazil, the sugar from India, the cup from China. Tariffs and trade disruptions send prices soaring, hitting ordinary Americans hardest. It's not just about coffee, it's about everything. Supply chain vulnerabilities and inflation are the new front lines of economic warfare, and the US. The answer isn't isolation, it's resilience. America must strengthen its supply chains, invest in domestic production where it matters, and work with allies and rivals alike to keep the global economy moving. Here's the revelation. Every empire falls. Rome, Britain, the Ottomans. History is a graveyard of powers that refuse to adapt. The US is not immune. It can either recognize its changed status and chart a new course, or cling to fading glory and risk collapse. America still commands the world's most powerful military, with 750 bases spanning the globe. But can aircraft carriers and fighter jets compensate for economic decline? The evidence says no. Military power without economic strength is a house built on sand. The wars in Afghanistan, Iraq, and now Ukraine have shown the limits of force and the cost of imperial overstretch. The US withdrawal from Ukraine is more than a tactical retreat. It's a symbol of imperial exhaustion, a nation stretched too thin, forced to choose between guns and butter. It echoes past failures: Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq. Each time the story ends the same way, with a superpower humbled and its adversaries emboldened. So where does America go from here? The answer isn't more confrontation, it's negotiation, engagement, a willingness to accept a multipolar world order. If the United States can adapt, focusing on fiscal responsibility, investing in its people, and forging pragmatic alliances, it can still secure a prosperous future. But denial is not a strategy. Only by facing reality can America avoid the fate of empires past. The American empire stands at a crossroads. The choices made today will echo for generations. Will the United States cling to the illusions of the past, or will it rise to the challenge of a changing world? The clock is ticking, the world is watching, and the next act of this drama is about to begin. If you found this analysis eye-opening, share it. Start the conversation, because only an informed public can demand the changes needed to secure America's future. Subscribe for more deep dives into the forces shaping our world. And remember, history doesn't repeat, but it does rhyme. Don't miss the next verse.